The saga with Karen and the HOA reached its dramatic culmination when they called emergency claiming authority over my building, unaware that I control the whole complex. What they assumed would be a straightforward assertion of power quickly became the final, decisive chapter in a decades-long series of misjudgments, interference, and public humiliation. The morning began with calm operations across the complex. Every building, reservoir, and facility was meticulously maintained and under my lawful oversight. Karen, predictably, arrived with her HOA entourage, claiming that my latest construction violated HOA regulations and that she had the authority to intervene. Without verifying ownership or legal authority, she dialed emergency, expecting officers to enforce her unfounded claims and compel compliance. When officers arrived, the situation immediately became clear. Karen had no jurisdiction, no authority, and no understanding of the property's legal structure. Every building in the complex, including the one she targeted, fell under my ownership and operational control. Her repeated assumptions about authority and influence were shattered in an instant. Officers observed the precise documentation of ownership, legal registrations, and operational authority, all of which invalidated Karen's claims entirely. I, witnessing the unfolding scene, implemented a strategic and decisive response. Operational staff ensured that the building remained fully functional, surveillance documented every attempt at interference, and legal protocols were immediately activated to formalize accountability for the HOA's unlawful intrusion. Karen's repeated calls to emergency became increasingly frantic, highlighting her ignorance and arrogance. Throughout the day, Karen attempted multiple forms of escalation. She shouted orders, rallied HOA staff, and sought to assert control over officers. Yet every effort was systematically neutralized by lawful authority and strategic operational management. Observers, including neighbors, local officials, and the broader community, noted the stark contrast between Karen's frantic interference and the calm, decisive control exercised over the complex. By afternoon, the building was fully secured, operational continuity restored, and Karen had no leverage. Her repeated misjudgments had resulted in public humiliation, operational disruption for the HOA, and a vivid demonstration of the consequences of acting without preparation, authority, or knowledge. The lesson was unmistakable. Attempting to assert control without lawful standing or understanding invites immediate and unavoidable consequences. To prevent future incidents, additional safeguards were implemented. Access points across the complex were reinforced, operational protocols updated, and surveillance systems enhanced to ensure complete documentation of any attempted interference. Karen's repeated overreach provided a final, clear demonstration that arrogance and ignorance consistently invite consequences when met with preparation, lawful authority, and strategic foresight. By evening, the complex lay calm, operational control fully restored, and Karen had retreated, thoroughly frustrated, humiliated, and powerless. The public lesson was unmistakable. Those who attempt to interfere without knowledge, preparation, or authority will face consequences that are precise, immediate, and unavoidable. By nightfall, the property reflected absolute mastery, strategic oversight, and lawful authority. Karen's decades-long series of failures with the HOA had reached its conclusion, leaving yet another chapter in the ongoing saga of law, strategy, and accountability. The principle was now undeniable. Arrogance, intrusion, and misjudgment are consistently met with immediate and undeniable consequences when confronted with lawful authority, preparation, and foresight. The saga of Karen and the HOA had finally reached its resolution. Each miscalculation, each act of interference, had been met with lawful strategy, meticulous planning, and precise execution. The lessons were clear for all observers. Preparation, knowledge, and authority will always prevail over arrogance, ignorance, and unlawful intrusion. The chapter closed not with chaos, but with mastery, lawfulness, and undeniable consequence. A fitting conclusion to a long and tumultuous battle of wits, strategy, and authority.